Hello, so in today's video I'm going to show you all the exciting things that happened in the last week of Oxtrail, with a weekend in Oxford with radio interviews, lots of people, and then midweek we had to take all the oxen from the centre of town down to the venue for the auction, and then I'm going to take you into the auction as well. So if you want to find out what that was like, keep watching. And then if you're wondering why I'm with Bluey now, there's a bit of a story behind that, and I'll tell you that at the end. And if you want to see how I painted Bluey to get all this effect, I will link the video and you can see how I did that. Hello, I'm just getting ready to go into Oxford for the farewell, the Oxtail farewell weekend, because all our oxen have been put in one place in Westgate, and I think it's going to look really amazing seeing them all together. For me, it's the first time, so I thought I'd try and vlog it as well. We'll see how we get on. So I'm just going to drive and then get a bus into town. Okay.
Well done, well done. And you're very welcome to come here all weekend to come and see the auction for the final time all together, and we can speak to one of the artists of the Oxford Blue oxen. So this is Catherine Wright, who's painted the Oxford Blue. Catherine, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Really great to catch up with you. I've asked all of the artists what their inspiration is behind the Oxford Blue, and I'm really behind your oxen because everyone's got a story to tell. just looking as we are in the field of oxen, which is behind us,
So different, aren't they?
aren't they just everyone? There's not one that is even remotely similar to any of the other ones. So what was the inspiration behind
Well, you
yours?
should see on my top,
Yes.
I do a lot of printing. This is something called cyanotype printing,
Right.
and it actually uses the power of the sun to make blue shades.
Oh.
Now, I wanted to do it actually on the ox, but technically that was quite difficult. But I've sort of used the same plants that I'd use in my printing,
Yes.
and I made stencils with them, and that's how I did it. And it was quite difficult because I've never done it on anything 3D.
Yeah, this is, if I had a pound for every artist that's we're normally working on 2D or in fabric in your case as well, and putting things on a 3D oxen. So what was that process like? So take us back to when this was, I know these were white, they
They
all
were,
came
yeah.
beautifully white, and you go, right,
Yes.
how are we going to do this?
I had them in my garage at home, and so I could use spray paint. So the first coats were fine, it was going really easily. Oh, I got a really nice finish with the glue. When I started doing the stenciling, I did encounter quite a few problems. As I say, because of the curves. In some places, it curves in two planes.
Yep.
It's like curving that way and curving inwards.
Yeah.
But I used these very flexible screens and worked out a method to do it, and then did a lot of touching up at the end.
So literally, the kind of flowers and what have you that
Yeah.
you see on these are stencils that you've gone over.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm going to, not having an artistic bone in my body, I'm going to use something that I know about stencils.
Okay.
I'm going to say it to you, and you're going to go, Rich, you're an idiot. But maybe not. So stencils, is that kind of like the Banksy kind of thing when he chucks them up on a
Stupid
wall?
question.
Get in there.
He's sensible, and he chooses something quite simple and big, and uses spray paint. Well, I chose really fiddly little ones.
Yeah.
It took a lot of work to get them just right. So that's why it took a lot of touching up afterwards.
Yeah.
But I filmed the whole thing, and if anybody wants, I have a YouTube channel called The Creative Garden, and it shows you the whole process that I went through.
Brilliant.
And the problems and how I overcame.
I love that, and it just in that, hopefully that didn't get lost in everything West gets on the radio. You basically said you're better than Banksy. We're doing.
Yeah.
Don't quote, but yeah, I am.
Could I just mention another ox?
Please do.
This one here.
Right, we've done.
Was done by my friend Katerina, who's from Ukraine.
Oh wow!
And she's been here for a year, but she's actually just gone back, and her family are going through quite a tough time at the moment.
Quite.
And the whole theme of it is we are connected. So it's sort of like there shouldn't be any borders, countries shouldn't be at war, and everybody should look out for everybody else. So I thought it'd be lovely if everybody could think of Katerina and her family, and that we are all connected.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you mentioned that as well. And yet another example of just something different, but something important as well in the case of this ox and with yours as well. They're absolutely incredible, stunning, and so lucky to be around. Some of the oxen, as you have just highlighted, Catherine, have a message as well. And actually, I wanted to just ask you about your Oxford Blue. Firstly, the Oxford Blue colour, as we all know, living here on Oxford Street, but is that the right Pantone, the Oxford Blue?
Well, I don't know, the university might sue me if I used exactly the same colour. But my sponsor, Oxford Instruments, they use that colour as well. So I think it's near enough.
And also finally as well, the eyes. Now you've not painted any pupils on the eyes, which I think is a really nice touch because it looks very different.
It's all quite stylised. I'm not making mine look really like it.
Or did you just forget?
Well, that could be it. I've done so much fiddly stuff by then, just the white.
Well, I think it stands out. I think it's really good.
Thank you.
And finally, your message to somebody listening this morning that might have a little bit of spare time to come down and see them all gathered together, and also ahead of the auction as well this Friday.
It's a really great occasion. It's lovely to see everybody getting involved, especially seeing the children waving and pointing at them. And the auction itself is going to be a really fun event. We've got one of the auctioneers at Bargain Hub doing it, and putting bid. You never know, you might end up with putting bid.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? It'd be incredible. And I've been asking all the answers this morning as well. Do you request access for future visits with your oxen?
I hadn't thought of that. It would be quite nice. Yes, to get little updates. Yes, I will insist on that. Now that
Amazing. That's Catherine, who is the creator of the Oxford Blue, and Oxford Instruments, of course, involved in that as well. So thank you very much for them. Catherine, nice to meet you.
Should we talk a walk? Let's talk a walk.
Let's have a little walk, because we're amongst all the oxen, amongst all the people.
So this is Sarah in front of her gorgeous ox leaving home, all based on one of her books, and it's got lots of detail on it, and I think it deserves a good home. And it really matches your dress, which is, I'm sure, is very carefully planned.
It's very fun.
Great.
My photo. I need to get my photo someone. You've resigned to your fate, haven't you? Got enough hands.
So after the oxen had their farewell weekend in the big shopping centre in the centre of Oxford, we had to take them all down, it wasn't very far, to the side business school where the auction was taking place, but it involved 2 or 3 roads, and they decided to do it all in one go with a procession. So as many people as possible were rounded up, and you can see that all sorts of people volunteered. We had firefighters, we had people who came along dressed as cowboys, and there were a few artists as well. And I had my sister-in-law there who did some filming, so thank you, Kim. And we took them all down and it was really, really fun. Some of us had cowbells that we were ringing. It was more difficult than you'd think to get over all the paving and the different levels, which is why at one point you see me stop, and if you had a problem with one of the wheels, you had to put your hand up to have a spanner and somebody would come along and fix you. But we finally got them to the foyer of the business school, all ready for the auction a couple of days later. And I didn't get a lot of footage of the evening. You know, it was a social occasion, lots of people there, nice food, nice drink. And then we had the auction itself, and I'll show you some of the footage from that. Unfortunately, I forgot to film when they were talking about my ox, but there are a couple of the other ones.
So, bidding is by paddle only, and that'd be great. If you haven't already got a paddle, please register with the guys from Sobell House, who have put on an amazing Oxtrail for you, and I think they all deserve a huge round of applause. And not only that, we will be calling out, not naming and shaming, calling out some of the artists who are here tonight and giving them a round of applause as well. If I don't see you, holler. Don't be dignified about this. This is all for charity, okay? You can shout at me. I'd rather not throw things at you. But shout at me if I haven't seen your bid. We have got spotters in the room. Thank you very much. And those of you who've got a paddle, I promise I won't take any bits. Can I just have a wave? Can we get used to the waving of the paddle? Yeah? Where you all are? Fantastic, that is so good. And those of you online, welcome at home with your Earl Grey or your gin and tonic. Hopefully gin and tonic, a double one there. Hope you enjoy that. Sip away and enjoy it. And remember, with the screen, not with my voice, because that might get a pull back. With the screen, not with my voice. So, without further ado, and without stalling this any longer, we are going to start the auction. Are you ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go, number one. And it is Bumblebee. Ladies and gentlemen, it is there. You've seen it out there on display. It combines the absolute ferocity of a bull with that most wonderful creature, the bumblebee. That fantastic animal. Without the bees, we won't be here. Ladies and gentlemen, we won't be here. And it has been done beautifully by Lynn Hollingsworth, contemporary artist from Derbyshire. She's not here tonight, but she wants to include her art to make it sure that everybody is welcome. And if you are an apiarist, this is your thing. Next to your honeybees. So ladies and gentlemen, start me straight away. We're not messing around. 2,500. I would love to see 2,500 here. Let's see a bit of 2,500. So Katerina is what we would, well, she is, no way to describe it, she's a refugee from Ukraine. And she's just moved back to Germany, or moved to Germany, and we wish her well for her family. Her family who remained in Ukraine have had a very difficult experience, and one which we can all imagine. We see those newsreels every day. So our thoughts go out to Katerina, but we thank her for creating this wonderful We Are All Connected box. And you know, somebody like her has created and designed this, and thank you, Karis, for painting it. So let's start me here at, for this wonderful one, at £2,000, £2,000 to start with. 2,000, 2,000. Let's see bids here of 2,000. Let's see a bid, this fantastic one here at 2,000. 2,000 to start me here, 2,000 I have, thank you. At 2,000 it is. 2,000 I have at 2,000. 2,000 is bid. Now do I see 2-1? 2-1, 2-1. Do I see 2-1 anywhere? At 2,000 I have at 2-1. May I say 2-2? 2-2. 2-3, 2-4, 2-5 I have. 2-5 is bid. 2-5 is £2,500. At 2,500, is there 2-6 anywhere else? At 2,500, make no mistake. At 2,500, dead centre. Selling here in the room, sold. 161 is your bid paddle number, isn't it? 750, that's a bit of it. 750, 750. 800. 750 once. 750 twice. 800. 800 I have. 800 I have once. 800 it's here and done. Sold!
£110,000.
A lovely round figure, an absolute fantastically beautiful round figure. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been marvellous. Okay, thank you very much. You have been marvellous. Now there are one or two which didn't quite make it out of the corral. So if you are interested, see the lovely Sobell House and they will look after you. And I'm sure you can corral it into your very own paddock or field full of cow slips and ox slips. You have been absolutely marvellous. Thank you very much.
So the company that sponsored me, Oxford Instruments, the staff who work there really wanted to have Bluey come back to their grounds at their headquarters. So they've started a fundraising campaign, but because it's quite a lot of money, there's no way they could have had that all up front in time for the auction. So David and I, along with my brother-in-law, we had a little sort of syndicate, a bit like those ones that own racehorses. So we each sort of own a bit of Bluey. And then when the staff have done their fundraising, or even before that, Bluey will get taken over there somehow. I don't know how we're going to get him there. I hope it won't be a procession. It's a few miles away. And then he'll go in their grounds. So I think this pleases everybody, and it also means I get to keep Bluey here for a few weeks. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing the story of the culmination of the Oxtrail. And what was so fantastic is that we raised lots and lots of money for Sobell House, although they always need more because everything there costs so much. But all the wonderful people who organised it, I think they found it worthwhile. And you never know, there might be another one in a couple of years, so watch this space.